Good morning, dear friends. Today, I want to share something very close to my heart, something that can transform the way you live your life every single day. You see, life doesn't wait for anyone. Every morning is like a new page, and we have the power to write our story the way we want. Now, what if I told you that there are 5 simple rules, yes, just 5 rules, that if followed sincerely, can help you win your life every single day? Not sometimes, not occasionally, but every day. These are not complicated strategies from a book, not secret formulas from the internet. These are practical, daily principles that can make your life calmer, happier, and more meaningful. So if you want to live a life where you feel fulfilled, where you are not just surviving but truly thriving, then listen closely, because these 5 rules might just change your life forever. Imagine waking up every morning, and before you even touch your phone, before your mind is bombarded with messages, news, and responsibilities, you take a moment, just a simple moment, to say thank you. Thank you for the gift of life, for the breath in your lungs, for the ability to see the sunlight and hear the birds sing. Gratitude is such a small act, yet it has the power to transform an entire day. You see, most of us start our mornings thinking about what we lack, what went wrong yesterday, or what might go wrong today. And when we focus on scarcity, on challenges, our minds immediately go into stress, fear, and worry. But when we pause and deliberately recognize the good in our lives, even the tiniest things, our mind shifts from tension to calmness, from negativity to positivity, from fear to faith. It doesn't matter whether your life is full of problems or blessings. Gratitude is not a denial of reality. It is a conscious choice to focus on what is working, what you have, and what is possible. Picture it like this: your mind is like a garden. If you constantly water weeds of complaints, anxiety, and dissatisfaction, your garden becomes overrun, dark, and heavy. But when you water flowers of gratitude, appreciation, and acknowledgement, your garden blooms, your thoughts feel lighter, and your energy becomes brighter. And here's the beautiful thing: gratitude doesn't just improve your mood, it changes your perspective on everything. Challenges seem smaller, mistakes become lessons, and opportunities that you might have ignored suddenly appear. Even the most successful people, the ones we look up to, carry this habit silently in their hearts. They don't take things for granted. They wake up and remind themselves of life's simple gifts: food to eat, a roof over their heads, friends who care, and even the lessons hidden in hardships. Gratitude creates a ripple effect. When you're grateful, you become more patient, more compassionate, and more generous. People are naturally drawn to you because there is a warmth, a light that comes from a thankful heart. And it's not about perfection or pretending. You don't need to have a perfect life to feel grateful. You can feel grateful for what is present, even while working to improve what is not. Even in difficult circumstances, there is always something to appreciate: the strength to face adversity, the wisdom gained from experience, or the support of someone who stands by you. Every day, if you take a conscious moment to express gratitude, silently, out loud, or even in writing, you are laying the foundation for a life that is peaceful, purposeful, and joyful. You are telling your mind, I acknowledge the good, I see the beauty, I am open to blessings. Friends, the truth is that life will never be perfect. There will always be struggles, disappointments, and unforeseen challenges. But gratitude gives you the power to start your day not as a victim of circumstances, but as a creator of your reality. It is the first step toward winning your life every single day. A heart that begins the morning with gratitude cannot remain heavy with negativity. It cannot remain stuck in resentment or worry. Instead, it flows into clarity, calmness, and confidence. And from this place, every action, every decision, and every interaction becomes more meaningful, more effective, and more fulfilling. So I urge you, every morning, even if it's just for 30 seconds, pause and say thank you. Thank you for the breath. Thank you for the opportunities. Thank you for the lessons. And thank you for this very moment. That simple act can quietly but powerfully transform your life, day after day, moment after moment. And that, my friends, is how you begin to truly win your life every day. Have you ever noticed how our mind can be our best friend or our worst enemy? It is such a strange thing, isn't it? We have this incredible instrument called the mind, capable of solving problems, creating beautiful ideas, and imagining possibilities beyond what we can see. And yet the same mind can fill us with fear, doubt, and worry, even when nothing terrible has happened. Most of us live our lives as if we are at the mercy of our thoughts. One moment we are calm, the next moment we are stressed. One moment we feel confident, the next moment we are filled with anxiety. But here's the truth, your mind does not have to control you, you can master it. Mastering the mind does not mean stopping thoughts or forcing yourself to be positive all the time. That is impossible. Mastery means awareness. It means learning to watch your thoughts without being trapped by them. It means realizing that thoughts are just passing clouds in the sky of your consciousness. They come and go, and you don't have to attach yourself to every single one. When you practice this, something beautiful happens. You begin to respond to life rather than react to it. You are no longer a puppet of circumstances, emotions, or negative patterns that have held you back for years. Think about this for a moment. How often do we worry about things that may never happen? How often do we replay past mistakes, criticizing ourselves endlessly? Every time we do this, we are giving power to thoughts that serve no purpose other than to drain our energy and steal our peace. But when you learn to consciously redirect your mind, you take back that power. You choose to focus on solutions instead of problems, on growth instead of failure, on what is possible instead of what is impossible. And slowly, day by day, your mind becomes a tool that works for you, not against you. It is also important to understand that mastering the mind requires practice. It is like training a wild horse. At first, the horse may run in every direction, unpredictable and restless. But with patience, care, and consistency, it can learn to follow your guidance. And together, you can journey far. Meditation, reflection, journaling, even simple conscious pauses during the day, these are all ways to train your mind. They help you notice patterns, recognize triggers, and gradually take control of the internal chatter that often clouds your clarity. When your mind is under control, everything changes. Decisions become clearer, relationships become smoother because you no longer react impulsively to every word or action of others. Stress no longer dominates your days because you realize that it is often your own thoughts, not external circumstances, creating the tension. And most importantly, happens is no longer something you chase externally. It becomes something you cultivate internally, a natural result of a calm, disciplined, and aware mind. Friends, the world around us is constantly noisy. Social media, news, opinions, and demands are trying to pull your mind in 100 directions at once. But if you don't take charge, your mind will be a battlefield, and you will feel exhausted, anxious, and defeated. By mastering your mind, by consciously choosing your focus, by practicing awareness, you are creating the foundation for a life where you are not just surviving day to day, but thriving with clarity, purpose, and peace. Remember, thoughts are powerful, but you are more powerful than your thoughts. The moment you realize this, a profound transformation begins. You start to live intentionally. You start to respond with wisdom rather than react with fear. And slowly but surely, your life becomes a reflection of the calm, focused, and purposeful mind you nurture every single day. This is how you step into the power of your life and how you truly start to win your life every day. Life often feels like a river flowing in many directions. If we just drift along, letting circumstances push us here and there, we can feel lost, frustrated, or even helpless. But there is a secret that very few people truly understand. Life begins to transform when you act with purpose. Acting with purpose doesn't mean having a huge plan for the next 10 years or knowing exactly how everything will unfold. It simply means that each day, each moment, you are aware of why you are doing what you are doing, and you allow your choices to reflect your deepest values. Many of us live life on autopilot, going through routines without asking ourselves whether our actions are meaningful. We wake up, go to work, scroll on our phones, deal with problems, and sleep. And then the cycle repeats. But when you act with purpose, even the smallest actions carry weight. You start making conscious choices, choosing what to focus on, whom to spend time with, and what kind of energy you bring into every situation. Purpose gives clarity to your decisions. It becomes a compass that guides you through the chaos of life, ensuring that you are moving in a direction that aligns with your inner truth. Imagine planting a seed without knowing what kind of tree it is or what it will become. You water it occasionally, you give it sunlight, but your efforts are random and the result is uncertain. Now imagine planting that same seed with knowledge, care, and intention. You water it regularly, protect it from harm, and provide it with the nutrients it needs. The growth is not just faster, it is purposeful, strong, and fruitful. Life works the same way. When your actions are purposeful, even small steps compound over time. They lead to growth, fulfillment, and the realization of your potential. Purpose also helps you navigate challenges. Life is full of obstacles, disappointments, and setbacks. But when you act with purpose, challenges are no longer meaningless interruptions. They become opportunities to learn, adapt, and strengthen your resolve. You start seeing life not as a series of random events, but as a journey where every moment has significance. Even failures, when viewed through the lens of purpose, teach valuable lessons and redirect you toward a better path. And here's something beautiful. Acting with purpose doesn't just impact your life, it affects everyone around you. People are drawn to those who live intentionally because their clarity, confidence, and consistency inspire trust. Whether it's in your family, workplace, or community, your purposeful actions create ripples of positivity and influence. A small act done with intention, listening to someone, helping a friend, giving your best effort, can create waves that touch lives in ways you might never see, but they are very real. Purpose also brings peace. When you know why you are doing something, you stop wasting energy on confusion, doubt, or trying to please everyone. You become focused, deliberate, and calm. There's a quiet strength that emerges from living intentionally, a strength that doesn't shout but quietly transforms your life and the lives of those around you. So friends, every day pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this? What is the intention behind my actions today? Am I moving toward my purpose or just moving for the sake of movement? Even if the answer is small, even if it's simple, that awareness is powerful. Every conscious choice, every purposeful action adds up. It shapes your character, strengthens your mind, and molds your destiny. Acting with purpose is the key to living a life that is not only successful in the eyes of the world, but meaningful in the eyes of your own heart. It is the bridge between dreaming and achieving, between surviving and truly thriving. And this, my friends, is how you begin to win your life every single day. Not by luck, not by accident, but by choosing to act with intention, clarity, and purpose each and every moment. There is a simple truth in life that many of us forget in the rush of our daily existence. True happiness, true fulfillment, and even a sense of purpose are found not just in what we achieve for ourselves, but in what we give to others. Serving others, even in small ways, is one of the most powerful habits we can cultivate because it connects us to something far greater than our own desires, our own worries, and our own fears. Think about it for a moment. When you help someone without expecting anything in return, something remarkable happens inside you. A sense of joy, warmth, and lightness arises that cannot be bought, cannot be forced, and cannot be manufactured. This is why small acts of kindness, a smile to a stranger, a helping hand to a friend, a word of encouragement to a colleague, carry so much power. They create a ripple effect. You may never know how your action touches someone else's life, but the energy you release always comes back, often in ways far greater than you could imagine. Serving others is not about grand gestures or heroic acts. It is about presence, awareness, and intentional action. It is about noticing the needs around you, feeling empathy, and responding with compassion. It could be as simple as listening patiently to someone who is struggling, offering your time when everyone else is busy, or sharing your knowledge and experience to help someone grow. These small acts, performed consistently, build trust, respect, and deep human connection. And when we connect meaningfully with others, our own lives become richer, fuller, and more meaningful. The world around us is often filled with self-interest, competition, and individual struggles, which can make it easy to forget the beauty of service. But serving others is a reminder that life is bigger than our own worries. It teaches humility, patience, and generosity. When we focus on the needs of others, we step out of the prison of our own mind, where fear, anxiety, and comparison live, and we enter a space of love, contribution, and fulfillment. There is also a profound inner transformation that occurs through service. Our perspective shifts. Problems feel smaller. Our own struggles, while real, no longer define our day or dictate our happiness. When you help someone who is in pain, you begin to see that suffering is a part of life, and empathy becomes a natural response. You learn gratitude, because through service, you recognize the blessings you may have taken for granted. And perhaps importantly, you create a life of meaning, because each act of service becomes a building block in a story larger than yourself, a story of connection, compassion, and contribution. Serving others also strengthens your emotional resilience. Life will bring challenges, disappointments, and moments of loneliness. But when your life is rooted in service, you are anchored in a purpose beyond yourself. This gives you strength to endure difficulties, courage to face uncertainty, and a sense of peace that comes from knowing you are making a positive difference in the world. And here is the beautiful paradox. When we serve others, we are not losing anything. In fact, we gain. We gain joy, peace, connection, and a sense of fulfillment that cannot be found in material possessions, achievements, or fleeting pleasures. The more we give selflessly, the more abundant our own lives become. It is a principle as old as life itself. When you water the lives of others, your own garden blooms. So, my friends, every day look for opportunities to serve. Notice someone who might need a word of encouragement, a smile, or a helping hand. Step outside your own worries and offer your time, energy, or love. Even if it seems small, even if it seems insignificant, remember that service is not measured by magnitude, it is measured by heart. And the more you serve, the more you align yourself with the flow of life, with the happiness that cannot be taken away, and with the profound truth that winning life every day is not about selfish gain, but about the joy and impact of lifting others along your journey. Life, as beautiful as it is also unpredictable. It will challenge you, push you to your limits, and sometimes knock you down in ways you never expected. And when that happens, it's easy to feel defeated, to think that the world is against you, or to believe that failure defines you. But is a profound truth that many overlook. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is an essential part of success. Every obstacle, every mistake, every setback carries within it a lesson, a hidden opportunity, and a chance to grow stronger. Think about it. If life were smooth, if everything went perfectly according to plan, we would never discover our inner strength, resilience, or creativity. Challenges push us out of our comfort zones and force us to rise above. Failures are like mirrors. They reflect where we need to improve, where we need to change, and where we need to awaken to a higher version of ourselves. The moment you start seeing failure as a teacher rather than a punishment, your relationship with life transforms. You begin to approach difficulties with curiosity rather than fear, with courage rather than despair, and with faith rather than frustration. It is important to understand that everyone experiences failure. No one is exempt. The most successful, the most accomplished, the most admired people in the world have all faced moments of deep disappointment, rejection, and struggle. The difference is that they did not allow failure to define them. They allowed it to refine them. They asked themselves, what is this teaching me? How can I grow? How can I rise stronger from this experience? And it is this mindset that separates those who merely exist from those who truly thrive in life. Failure also teaches patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, instant gratification, and immediate success, we forget that growth is a process. It requires time, persistence, and perseverance. Failure reminds us to slow down, to reflect, and to build resilience. Each time we face a setback and choose to continue, we are developing strength of character, patience, and determination, qualities that no easy success can ever give. Another beautiful aspect of our lure is that it cultivates humility. It reminds us that we are human, that we are learning, and that perfection is not the goal. When we accept failure gracefully, we become more compassionate toward ourselves and toward others who struggle. We learn, support, encourage, and uplift because we know how it feels to stumble, to doubt, and to fear. And here is the most important part. Failure is never final unless you allow it to be. Every mistake, every setback, every lost opportunity is simply a chapter, not the conclusion of your story. When you take ownership of your failures, learn from them, and apply those lessons moving forward, you turn every defeat into a stepping stone, every heartbreak into a source of wisdom, and every challenge into a catalyst for transformation. This is how resilience is built, how character is formed, and how true success is achieved, not by avoiding failure, but by embracing it, learning from it, and using it to rise stronger than before. So my friends, the next time life pushes you down, the next time you stumble or fall, remember that you are not broken, you are being refined. You are not defeated, you are being prepared. Every challenge is an invitation to grow, to evolve, and to step into your fullest potential. When you view failures this way, every day becomes a chance to rise, to learn, and to win, no matter the circumstances. And this, my dear friends, is one of the most powerful secrets to winning your life every single day. To embrace failures as lessons, to rise every time you fall, and to live with courage, resilience, and unwavering faith in yourself and in life. Consistency is one of those qualities that is often overlooked because it seems simple, almost ordinary. Yet it is perhaps the single most powerful factor in shaping a life of success, fulfillment, and lasting happiness. You see, life is not won in grand gestures, occasional bursts of effort. It is won in the quiet, persistent actions that we take day after day, even when motivation is low, even when results are not immediately visible. Consistency is like water patiently shaping a rock over time. Each drop seems insignificant on its own, but over days, months, and years, it carves paths, shapes landscapes, and creates something lasting. Many of us underestimate the power of small actions repeated consistently. We look at someone's achievements, whether in their career, relationships, or personal growth, and we think they were accomplished overnight, or that they are the result of talent or luck. But behind every success story is the hidden story of relentless persistence. It is the person who showed up every single day, even when it was difficult, even when they were tired, even when they doubted themselves. That is the magic of consistency. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results over time. Consistency also builds trust, both within yourself and with others. When you consistently honor your commitments, when you consistently act with integrity and intention, you begin to build a reputation not just externally but internally. You start to trust yourself because you know that no matter the circumstances, you will show up, you will put in the effort, and you will do what is required. This self-trust is invaluable. It is the foundation for confidence, resilience, and long-term success. At the same time, consistency is not about perfection, it is about persistence. It is about showing up even when you feel like giving up, even when the results seem small, and even when the world does not notice. Every effort matters, every choice matters, every day matters. Over time, these small, steady actions accumulate like compound interest. And before you know it, what once seemed impossible or far away becomes your reality. Consistency also teaches patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, we often lose hope when we do not see immediate change. But the truth is, growth, whether personal, professional, or spiritual, rarely happens overnight. It unfolds gradually, layer by layer, like the rings of a tree, each day adding strength and depth. When you commit to consistency, you honor the natural rhythm of growth and give yourself the gift of long-term progress. And here's the beautiful thing. Consistency works in all areas of life. It strengthens your mind because daily habits of focus, reflection, and discipline gradually rewire your thinking. It strengthens your body because regular care and exercise create endurance and vitality. It strengthens your relationships because the small, consistent gestures of love, kindness, and presence build bonds that last. It strengthens your spirit because repeated acts of service, gratitude, and mindfulness shape a life aligned with your values. Friends, consistency is quiet, almost invisible, yet it is one of the most transformative forces in life. It does not make noise. It does not promise instant reward. But it creates momentum, and momentum is unstoppable. Momentum carries you through challenges, setbacks, and distractions. Momentum allows your efforts to compound, creating results far beyond what a single action could ever achieve. And momentum builds character, discipline, and resilience, qualities that no shortcut, no magic formula, and no sudden burst of luck can ever replace. So the message is simple: show up every day, do the small things consistently, honor your commitments, nurture your habits, and persist with patience. Even if today seems ordinary, even if your efforts seem unnoticed, trust that every small, consistent step is shaping the life you desire. And when you practice consistency with dedication and faith, you unlock the quiet, unstoppable power that allows you to truly win your life every single day. In our journey through life, it's easy to get caught up in achievements, goals, and personal success. We work tirelessly to climb the ladder, to earn recognition, or to accomplish dreams, and yet, if we pause for a moment and reflect, we realize that none of it feels truly fulfilling unless it is shared with meaningful relationships. Relationships, whether with family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers we touch through kindness, are the foundation of a life that feels rich, joyful, and purposeful. Without them, even the greatest accomplishments can feel hollow, empty, and fleeting. Think about the happiest moments of your life. Are they the awards, the promotions, or the material possessions? Or are they the moments shared with someone who cared, laughed with you, supported you, or simply stood by you in silence? Human connection has a power that nothing else in the world can replace. The warmth of a kind word, the comfort of a shoulder to lean on, the joy of celebrating another's success. These are the true treasures of life. And yet many of us neglect our relationships in the pursuit of other things, thinking we can catch up later or make up for lost time. Life doesn't work that way. Moments once gone never return, and relationships, if not nurtured consistently, weaken over time. Investing in relationships means more than just being physically present. It means giving your attention fully, listening deeply, and responding with empathy. It means showing appreciation, expressing love, and forgiving mistakes. It is about celebrating others without jealousy, supporting others without expectation, and understanding that every human being has a story, a struggle, and a need to feel seen and valued. These small but consistent efforts build trust, intimacy, and connection. And relationships built on trust and genuine care withstand the storms of life, providing support, guidance, and joy when challenges arise. Relationships also teach us some of life's most important lessons. They teach patience because people will make mistakes, disappoint us, or act in ways we don't expect. They teach humility because we realize that we are not always right and that understanding and compromise are essential. They teach compassion because when we see the struggles of others, we feel a natural desire to help, comfort, and encourage. And they teach gratitude because when we recognize the love, support, and presence of others, we feel a deep appreciation for life itself. Another aspect of relationships is that they reflect back who we are. The way we treat others, the respect we show, and the kindness we offer come back to us in ways we may not always consciously see. Our connections shape our character, our worldview, and even our emotional well-being. People are not just companions in life, they are mirrors, teachers, and sources of inspiration. Nurturing them enriches us far beyond any material gain. It's also important to remember that relationships require effort, care, and consistency. Just like any other valuable aspect of life, it's not enough to think about loved ones occasionally or reach out only when it's convenient. Relationships flourish when we invest time, energy, and presence, when we actively listen, when we resolve conflicts with understanding rather than anger, and when we celebrate moments, both big and small. Every gesture, every conversation, every act of love, no matter how minor it seems, strengthens the bond and creates a lasting foundation of connection and trust. Friends, life is ultimately a series of moments shared with others. Achievements, wealth, and success can be taken away, forgotten, or surpassed, but the relationships we cultivate endure. They are the true measure of a life well lived. By prioritizing relationships, investing in meaningful connections, and giving our presence fully, we not only enrich the lives of those around us, but also create a life of deeper satisfaction, purpose, and joy for ourselves. And when we do this consistently, we experience the profound truth that winning life every day is not about what we accomplish alone. It is about the love, connection, and impact we create in the lives of others. Life moves incredibly fast. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. And before we realize it, we are caught in a whirlwind of activity, responsibilities, and distractions. Amidst this rush, it's very easy to live on autopilot, going through the motions without pausing to reflect, to understand, and to check if we are truly aligned with our purpose, values, and goals. This is why self-reflection is so essential. Self-reflection is not just a practice, it is a powerful tool that allows us to pause, observe, and understand the trajectory of our own lives. Without it, we may find ourselves moving forward, but in a direction that is not truly ours. Self-reflection is about taking a moment to ask yourself important questions. Am I acting in alignment with my values today? Am I giving my best in the areas that matter most? Am I living intentionally, or am I simply reacting to circumstances? These questions might feel uncomfortable at first because they require honesty, vulnerability, and courage. But it is through this honest examination of our thoughts, choices, and actions that we discover clarity, direction, and growth. When you engage in self-reflection regularly, you begin to notice patterns in your behavior, thoughts, and emotions. You notice the habits that uplift you and the ones that drain you. You notice how your reactions to certain situations either serve you or hold you back. And with this awareness comes the ability to make conscious changes. You no longer have to be a prisoner of old habits, unproductive routines, or negative thought patterns. You begin to take control, step by step, of who you are becoming. Self-reflection also allows you to embrace accountability. It gives you the courage to acknowledge your mistakes, your missed opportunities, and your shortcomings without judgment, and to see them as opportunities for learning and growth. Instead of blaming circumstances, other people, or fate, you start to recognize that your power lies in your response, your choices, and your actions. This shift from blame to responsibility is transformative because it turns every situation, whether pleasant or difficult, into a chance to learn and evolve. Another profound aspect of self-reflection is that it deepens your understanding of yourself. You start recognizing your strengths, your passions, your values, and your purpose. You begin to understand what truly matters, what gives you joy, and what aligns with your authentic self. In a world that constantly pulls us in multiple directions, self-reflection acts like a compass, helping us stay centered, focused, and aligned with our inner truth. Self-reflection also nurtures emotional intelligence. When you pause to examine your emotions, thoughts, and reactions, you gain insight into how your mind and heart operate. You learn to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. You develop patience, empathy, and understanding for yourself and for others. You become more aware of the impact of your actions, words, and decisions. And this awareness naturally improves the quality of your relationships and interactions. Even the most successful people, those who appear confident, accomplished, and composed, engage in regular self-reflection. They understand that without this pause, without this check-in, it is easy to lose perspective, drift into habits that no longer serve them, or be swept away by the noise and demands of life. Self-reflection is like holding a mirror to your soul. It allows you to see clearly, adjust your course when needed, and ensure that every step you take is aligned with the life you want to create. Friends, the practice of self-reflection may seem simple, but its effects are profound. It transforms confusion into clarity, chaos into purpose, and ordinary routines into intentional living. By regularly pausing to examine yourself, your actions, and your choices, you gain control over your life instead of letting life control you. You create a foundation of awareness, growth, and intentionality that allows you to live with meaning, integrity, and joy. And this is one of the key ways to truly win your life every single day, to pause, reflect, and align yourself with the best version of who you are meant to be.